Well, here at the Hotel Orloff in historic Rural Retreat, Virginia, time stands still. Here in our gift shop, our place where you can get little souvenirs of the Hotel Orloff, we still have a comic rack and magazines. Still have all kinds of fun stuff. We have fine art in our lobby. So here, the Hotel Orloff in Rural Retreat, Virginia, you can stay for a day or a lifetime. Last episode, we were looking at some Archie comics we found in the comic book vault here in the Hotel Orloff, and let's continue looking at them today. July the 2nd, Sunday afternoon, 2023, the year of our Lord. Yeah. And it's episode 789, I believe. If we can just get about 10 more episodes done in the next day or so, we could have our big historic 800th broadcast on July 4th. But we'll see if that happens. I don't think it's going to happen. Put down in the comments below whether you think we could do 10 episodes in next day or so. What do you think? Do you think it's possible? Oh my goodness gracious. So, Archie Comics. Once again, the camera is always crooked here. So let's fix that. Much better. Alright, so Archie. We're in box one of 5 boxes, I think, of Archie comics. We're up to Archie Meets the Punisher. There were 2 different covers for this comic book, which came out, man, I think this came out in the 90s. I could be wrong. Anyway, at this point, they're starting to get all postmodern and aware of themselves, and having Archie team up with the Punisher. Marvel has killed off the Punisher pretty much. They're afraid. They're saying really bad, crappy people started to wear the symbol of the Punisher, so we couldn't use the character anymore because he were. Please. These a lot of soy over there at the Marvel Comics company, comics group. This is a little more recent. Archie Meets the Ramones. How about that? And then Archie met the 1966 Batman. Maybe we should do it like that. And that was issue 3 of that. They had different covers, different variant covers, because that's the cool thing to do nowadays, is to have lots of different covers. Look at this variant cover. Here's one where Archie is back there as Robin. Okay. All right. Okay, now that's recent in the last 10, 15 years. But back almost 60 years ago, when the Batman TV show hit the air in January of 1966, it sent a shockwave through the comics industry, and comics really started to sell. There'd been a dip in comic sales when the price went up from 10 cents to 12 cents in early, late 1961. I say it every episode, and then I completely draw a blank. Anyway, We're in February '67 here, and it's a year after um, Batman's premiered on the ABC network, which was a huge hit. So they recast Archie as a superhero. This is issue 3 of Archie as Pureheart the Powerful. See, complete with sound effects, just like you'd see in the Batman TV show. Okay, so that's the only issue I have of Archie as Pureheart the Powerful. I should have all of them. I don't know how many there are. I doubt there are many. But Archie appeared as Pureheart the Powerful in other comics as well. Next, this is a comic I bought when it came out. I remember this one. Archie at Riverdale High, number 58. We're in the late 70s when ads look like that. Then here we have Archie at Riverdale High, number 67. Oh my goodness, there's a thief on the beach. Okay. Again, this isn't the best time for the Archie comic. Archie number 87. Foreign exchange students. Archie's a big hit with them. This is Archie at Riverdale High, number 69. I'm watching this Carlin Borisenko on YouTube here. She was this liberal socialist that went to a Trump rally, and they treated her really nice, and she converted. She's thought, the side I'm on, they're burning down cities and everything. They're crazy. I'm going to become a Trump supporter. And so she went over to the other side. I think she wrote a book. She was on all these talk shows. Liberal converts, And then I think she decided that the right side was starting to get crazy too. And so now I think she's more on the right side, but she's saying she has this YouTube channel where she plays all these videos from the socialists, and she interprets what their language means, so we really understand what they're saying, because it's like they speak in code. I'm not sure I fully trust her, but it's interesting to watch her expose these socialists that are trying to take over just about everything. And they're trying to tear our society down, and these Marxist types. But, oh well. What else are you going to watch for entertainment on a Sunday afternoon? Oh, this may entertain you. It's an ad for a Masters of the Universe video game that you could play. Is that for the Atari 2600? Yes. So we're in 1980, and it's already kind of looking bad. Like I say, I really think, man, I kind of think the world ended right around 1975. When Atlas Seaboard went under, and then the UPC code came along. Ugh. And the King Kong remake came out that was terrible. What else happened that was awful? The Spider-Man TV show was terrible on television. That was disappointing. Star Wars came out. That was great. But then Star Wars unintendedly destroyed everything else that I loved. I love Star Wars, but then the monster magazines started to become space magazines, and the Star Wars influence was kind of negative. Even though it itself, the first 3 movies were great. Okay, here's this is from 1993, but this has got a great cover, so everything didn't go horribly wrong, even though it's got a UPC code on it. It's not nice artwork here on the Archie Christmas stocking. Archie always used this Christmas font on the Christmas issues, and Archie's Christmas comics were always gorgeous. I have two copies of that one. This is issue number 2. That was from Christmas of '93. This is from Christmas of '94, and this has a pretty good vintage look. It kind of almost looks like something that would have come from the '60s. Here's Archie's Christmas stocking from, I guess I don't have the '95 issue, but I have the '96 issue, issue 4. So I trust you're doing very well on this. Oh, this is when they started doing those live action remakes of their classic animated films, Disney. So that goes back to the '90s. They've been doing that stuff. Man, I just don't like when they update. You know, the original stuff is great. Leave it alone. Do something new. Don't try to do these live action versions of old cartoons. I just don't like it, you know. My wife was watching with our nephew, I think a couple of years ago, like Little Rascals, and then I heard, you know, Night Tigers saying that's a great movie. You know, saying I was telling my wife, why? I remember a few years ago, why are you watching that? Have them watch the real Our Gang comedies. Why watch that? And it's like, well, they won't watch the real ones because they're in black and white. But this is fake. These are kids pretending to be the real kids from and those. If you can just get a kid, if you sit them down, they'll like the Our Gang comedies. I call them Our Gang comedies because that's really what they were called in the theatrical shorts. They weren't. When they came on television, they started calling them Little Rascals. They changed the opening titles. But that's kind of what they're known as today. So, I mean, I'll go with it. It was like Our Gang featuring the Rascals. You know, it was kind of whatever. Little Rascals. I'll go with that. I just don't want to see, you know, somebody imitating Alpha and Spanky and all that. I want to see the real people. When I was in 6th grade, South Davis Elementary, Arlington, Texas, it was pretty well known. You know, we watched Little Rascals on Slam Bang Theater there on Channel 11 there locally in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. People knew that Spanky McFarlane, now an older gentleman, lived in Dallas or lived in the area, right? So there was a guy, a big guy, that was the crossing guard in front of the elementary school that crossed us every day across South Davis Street. And he told us all that he was Spanky McFarlane, that he'd played Spanky in Little Rascals. It wasn't true. He was not the real Spanky McFarlane. He lived in Dallas, not in Arlington. So we're being lied to as little kids. That was another kind of disturbing thing, you know. It's like, that's not the real Spanky that's crossing us. Okay, here, this one's got a little bit more age on it, so it's better. You can just tell the line work, the artwork is so much more beautiful. This is a 10-cent book. Looks like they priced it at $6 at that price tag looks like it's from a comic store called Collected in Fort Worth, which is a pretty good comic store. It was huge and had this huge area next to it that you'd walk through, and it was all these unorganized but great comics, not priced, but you'd ask the owner to price them, he'd price them very fairly. But it was wonderful. The whole area next to the store attached to it was bigger than the actual store, and but it had a horrible smell because they were next to some t-shirt printing company or something. There was a horrible chemical smell, as I recall. And then they changed locations, and then they put all the comic books into drawers that you had to pull out, which I don't know. Some people may like that. Uh, Seems like when comic book stores switched to having drawers that you pull out, I stopped kind of liking the stores because it's something about it is it's a little hard to do. Maybe it's easier to do when you're younger. It's not as hard on your back. This is Archie's joke book. It's a 10-cent book. This one's showing a little age, a little bit of. That's number 55, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is a great one, number 58. A Monster's Return. Look at that. Look at that poster there. I see that Hoarder Mike has a outer space movie, or a guy from astronaut from outer space returns as a mutated creature, which is like, what is that like? That's like, shit. Shoot. What was the movie in the 50s that was like? Also like several movies. But anyway, it's like some new movie he's just released on Blu-ray. I need to look into that. I think it's called First Man on Mars or something. What is the movie I'm thinking of? There was a 50s movie with a similar idea. The Beast. There was the Beast something. And then there was, Frankenstein meets a space monster. And then in the 70s, there was the Incredible Melting Man. Okay, I can't remember. Make fun of Joe Biden. I'm getting just as bad. This is, I have another copy because I guess I found this twice out there in the wild. And I see this monster poster, and I guess I wasn't sure I already had it. And anyway. Well, luckily I don't have 3 copies of it. Here's from February of 1962, number 60 of Archie's joke book. One of those Christmas covers. Here's number 85. I love the dancing covers. There are covers, I was telling you last time, there's Christmas covers, there's beach covers, there's bands playing covers, but there's also these covers with record players and people dancing. Those are also really great. And number 86 of Archie's joke book. Oh, this is a good cover. Number 93 of Archie's joke book. Number 97. They're at the 1966 auto show. I wish I had more Archie comics. My collection is pretty small. Look at this cool ad on the back. Okay, here's one of those band playing covers from 102. It's Archie and his 3-piece rockers. This must be his band prior to forming the Archies. So he's playing with these 2 guys. And Jughead is on drums. Because, it ain't the Archies without the Jughead beat. Uh-oh. They've got the Maharishi effect has reached the Archie comic. It's our wise guru can help solve all the problems that trouble mankind. And he says, does that include algebra? Like I said, you learn a lot about the history of those decades as you look at Archie comics. Oh, like here, Archie's joke book, look how they add in Laugh-In. Archie's joke book, Laugh-In, because Laugh-In was a popular show on television. They're trying to fool kids into maybe thinking this is somehow affiliated with that TV show. Issue 129. Yeah, see, they still have the Laugh-In logo there. Number 137. I wonder if... Oh, see, I think they maybe got a letter of from a lawyer about that. Because, look, by issue 1, that was issue 137. Well, I don't know how long they were doing that. But here, by issue 162, look how it doesn't say laugh in anymore. It says laugh out. So I guess that's... And then, of course, by 205, this is the mid-1970s, and they're not going to be trying to put the Laugh-In logo there anymore, because that show wasn't that off the air by 71, or did it go into 72? I don't know. The early first couple of years of the 70s, I would know better, except we were living in Germany, and we would get some American shows on the Armed Forces channel, but just a hodgepodge from the different 3 networks, and even from PBS. We'd get Sesame Street, so I got to see Sesame Street when it first started. Sesame Street started in 1969, and it was really good. If you go back on YouTube, you can see these 1969, 1970 episodes of Sesame Street, and they're still really good. Before Elmo came along and ruined that show. That Elmo is so creepy. Nice. Elmo is probably a socialist, part of the Marxist revolution. Okay, what I'm showing you now is like junk. I mean, this is not valuable, and I just have it because, I find an Archie comic in a bin, I'm going to pick it up. But even if it's from the wrong time period, I mean, I wouldn't get Archie comics from today. Maybe if they were given to me, I would. Here's Josie of Josie and the Pussycats selling these Hostess apple pies. 266, and it's Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I'm out of my mind. Although Star Trek: The Next Generation stole their theme song from this movie. 270. We're almost done with this box. $286. I guess we're about to get to Archie's giant size. What is it called? Giant. What do they call it? This one, I think that says some value. I don't remember. Archie's Love Showdown Special. I don't know. Dan Parent and Don DeCarlo. Dan Parent, I guess, came along in the 90s, and he's an Archie artist that likes to do postmodern things, like have the Archie characters in covers that look like Rocketeer covers or other comics, just here's the poster inside. This is a new character in the 90s, Cheryl Blossom, that I don't know. Some of these become more valuable because there are people that I don't know how they think some of these collectors that look for key issues and then they consider certain things to be key. I like the first Cheryl Blossom. That isn't the first Cheryl Blossom, but the one that is the first Cheryl Blossom, I think, is sought after. I think I have it. Not sure. Archie Comics box 2. It says it there on the label. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're moving into Archie's Pals and Gals. Now see, the Archie, this is number 3. Archie in the 50s, he had kind of this little gap in his teeth and stuff. And it's just a much cooler looking comic than that stuff I was showing you from the late 1970s. But it's always identifiable as Archie, even had an Archie's Mechanics book. Look at that, they're upside down. 4th of July sale. Some people are sending me advertisements on my phone. I record these shows on my telephone, and I get these little pop-up ads appearing at the top trying to sell me things. Yes, indeed. Harvey Kurtzman did that parody of Archie in Mad, and he pointed out Archie's saying, they look so different. Look at them. It was because really the faces are identical. It's like one's blonde, one's brunette, but other than that, they're like twins. So then I guess you have to choose. Since they look identical, then obviously personality, which really should be the first priority. Betty was the sweet girl next door, and Veronica, probably named after Veronica Lake, but of course Veronica Lake was a blonde. But anyway, Veronica was the rich girl. And I guess her dad was from the South. They overdid the Southern accent. It was horrible on the Archie 1969 cartoon. You know, they really the actress that did the voice kind of overdid that. At least in my opinion. What do I know? Here's Archie's Pals and Gals number 11. Imagine touring England for only 10 cents. Oh, look, it's got a date stamp. January 7th, 1960. Amazing. So, how about that? I just put look at that wrist radio. I just put a little thing on Facebook and on Instagram. Subscribe to the Hotel Orloff on YouTube. And it usually doesn't work. People say, well, what's the link? And it's like, I don't know how to put a link on this. Can't you just look up Hotel Orloff on YouTube? Is that hard to type that in? My wife is calling. I better, if I answer, it'll end the show. So let me go see what's up. Let me get this phone. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go see what's up with her, and I'll be back. And Drew the dog, Drusilla, will entertain you. She's looking at me like I'm talking to her. Drew, would you please entertain the folks while I see what's going on? All right, I'll be right back.
destroyed all of these tech platforms, the world would probably be a much better place, right? Because they use these tech platforms in order to sow divisions. So I think it's allowed them to accelerate, but I don't think they necessarily needed it. And are they disciplined enough to not get lazy? Bro, they're working at this every single day. Now, there are some things that they're lazy at, but not nearly as much as like what the right is lazy about. And so if we're comparing, like, laziness is relative, right? You could definitely make the argument that the left is damn lazy about some things, but even in their laziness, they are still more motivated and focused than like every other political group. So sometimes they can be lazy because other people are lazier, would be my answer. But definitely others feel free to answer as well. I think it's an interesting question. Thank you for asking it.
Kind of logic of the system has that one purpose: accumulate capital. All human activity has been organized around that one purpose for the last 200 years. And for a while, it had a progressive byproduct, because as a result of that drive, that motivation running to
That's what I'm here for. Welcome to Socialism Saturday.
Of nature like never before. All the massive, the major advances we've had in natural science and the application of chemistry, the explosive development of industry, machinery, mechanization of agriculture, steam power, electricity, railroads, transport, air travel. These developments are the basic justification for the rise of capitalism. But that mechanism, that motivation,
All right.
there's only so far it can bring society forward. It turns into its opposite, and it becomes an obstacle
Well,
for society. For one,
I'm sure she was a much better host.
it leads to concentration of capital. That Lenin explained. They didn't call it the late stage of capitalism, they called it the highest
capitalism,
capitalism,
So,
imperialism.
how are you guys doing? Wonderfully.
So much competition, larger and larger sums of capital required even to compete, even to participate.
Total this show will be over in a few minutes because
Industry is completely
I don't have
dominated
much memory on my phone.
by monopolies. And that's one factor that signals the end of capitalism's progressive.
But we're getting to see some good Archie books now. We're into a good time period.
It's dominated by, there's no more room
So what are you guys doing for July 4th?
to take over. There's no more markets to
Anything amazing?
You have it carved up by a handful of monopolies, intertwined with financial
Dang it.
powerful banks. The only other place to expand is into other markets.
You are?
This pressure
That's great.
rises, it becomes irresistible to seize other markets, to
That's
invade
wonderful.
other countries.
That warms my heart.
To try and exploit their resources.
I don't know. Did I show you this one? I have no idea.
Establish more of a sphere.
That's Archie's Pals and Gals number 11.
The war that we're seeing
Here's Archie's Pals and Gals number 13.
from NATO and Russia. It's also a question of
Now look at that.
expansion.
Your bike can be a contender in a race with all these rockets.
Breakers are not doing anything to my website. My
That's
website-
13.
You guys are needing to-
Then I have a slight gap in my collection. I go to 41, and we're already into
That website's
the British invasion.
It's not an attack on the website, and I know that because I have like 8.
Wow, the go-go mood here is very contagious. Yeah, even my money has caught the go-go spirit.
Everyone relax.
Yeah, I know what you mean there, Archie. It's that Bidenomics. Except back then, Biden was still in college
Force that led to the two world wars that saw
and was learning how to destroy the world.
at the cost of 40 million lives
Okay.
in the First World War. Another 75 million.
I assume that mid-60s he was in college, right?
The deaths in China.
Would that be right? Because he was about 30 when he became senator in 1972. Oh, this is a great cover. Number 53. They're being... Oh, Archie's, your music tears us apart. That's exactly what you dolls are doing to us. They're completely being destroyed by their fans. Fantastic. Fantastic, I tell you. That's 53, 54. That one's got a little bit of waviness. It might be good for, what do people call it, pressing? I don't know how to do that. Archie's Pals and Gals 72. Looks like I paid $3 for this. It was right before the pandemic that I discovered collected comics, and I went there. It was right when that was starting. I remember that, man. That was 2019. 81. It serves us right for making the beach hire female lifeguards. They wanted female power and job opportunities for females, so they got female lifeguards, and it's more competition for them. You never see a comic cover like that today, I don't think. All right, now we're going to get into some horrible area. 137. We're into, once you get into the 40-cent era, it's just the comic books aren't the same, man. I don't know if comics ever recovered from going up to 40 cents. I'll show you all the covers anyway, but I mean, they're okay. I mean, it's alright, but it's not like those vintage Archies from the 50s and 60s and 40s if you can afford it. That's not even something I even think about, is having Archie comics from the 40s. That would be insanity. And again, there's one of these video game ads on the back, which meant that, basically about that time when comics were 40 cents, comics started to only be sold in comic book stores. It was the death of the industry. And and video games took over with kids. I mean, once video games came along, kids would not be reading comics. Although there were still girls that read Archie. None of these comics, you can tell these comics were not, I mean, they weren't collected. They were just, these weren't treated that nicely. They weren't something anyone ever thought would be valuable. Oh, here's some horrible thing. It's got to be from the 90s. It's so horrible looking. Archie 3000. I guess this is Archie meets the Jetsons. Okay, then we get back to something good. We go back in time to Archie's TV Laugh Out, because they can't call it Laugh In, starring Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Sabrina the Teenage Witch was a cartoon on Saturday morning TV, started about 71, 72. And this is my first issue of that. I bought this from the 7-Eleven in Hampton, Virginia. It's number, this is my childhood copy, number 15. I just love this cover. One time I turned this into a band flyer for a friend's band, changing the words, but fantastic. Archie's TV Laugh Out. This is a beautiful cover where they're watching Josie and the Pussycats playing in the background with their bell bottoms, very much a time capsule of the early 70s. That's 22. Then I go all the way to 71 to A Bad Time with the UPC code. 74. I remember this. The last time I showed these Archie comics, there were so many bad ones. When I went through this bad period, but oh well. There they are playing video games. They've got a pretty big screen TV there. It's almost, the UPC code though is almost as big as their big screen TV. Oh good, now we're back to vintage Archie. We're into, now, a neophyte would think, oh, look this up. It's Betty and Veronica's Summer Fun, but that's not the name of the comic. The name of the comic is Archie Giant Series Magazine at the top, featuring Betty and Veronica's Summer Fun. So this is number 13 of Archie Giant Series Magazine. So that's how you need to look it up if you're looking it up on mycomicshop.com or whatever. One of those beach covers. So it was in this series that you'd have the the summer issues and the Christmas issues. These were a lot of times in the Giant series, they would be the seasonal ones with the beautiful covers. So this is Archie Giant Series Magazine number 15. This is one of those great classic Christmas covers. So a lot of the really iconic covers are going to be in Archie Giant Series Magazine. Number 17 is just Archie's jokes, and you got some giant bug attacking. 20 is another Christmas special. It's Archie's Christmas stocking. The children were nestled all snug in their beds while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. Santa's saying, "Here are the keys, son. It's all yours, complete with sugar plums." Santa's referring to Betty and Veronica as sugar plums. So that was a Christmas issue, number 20, and 15 was a Christmas issue. So that tells you they only put out about 5 issues a year of Giant Series Magazine, at least in that era, from one Christmas to the next. And then I just don't have, I just wish I had more. Here's issue 34 of Giant Series Magazine. It's another summer fun issue. And here's another copy of that beautiful cover. What in the name of heck? 34? How did... I guess it must have gone from being put out every couple of months to being put out several times a month. Because that was number 34, and that looks like that's about, what, 1962? And then we're up to 1966, obviously, and this is issue 142, so somehow they cranked out a lot of issues in that time. Here's a wonderful issue, 142, definitely out after Batman went on television, because you see all the sound effects, and they're all superheroes. This is one to get, Archie's Superhero Special, and this would look good on a comic book wall. I want someone to give me a good tutorial on how to create a comic book wall. I guess it's not hard, or send me a link to a good tutorial on how, because I think I could put, I think I've got a wall. I could take some posters down and put them somewhere else and create a comic wall. I'm starting to warm up to that idea. That was 142. Here's 143. Some cretinous, the monster has drawn on it with a red marker or crayon, but it's also, again, still with the superhero theme. Look at that, Record Riot, Smash, 60s Smash songs. I guarantee you these aren't going to be by the original artist. I Am a Rock, Painted Black. Okay, so we know Red Rubber Ball. But they're not, Painted Black is not going to be sung by the Rolling Stones. It's going to be sung by some 50-year-old guys. Trust me. Beautiful. 180. Betty and Veronica, it's still Archie Giant Series. It's Betty and Veronica Christmas Spectacular. This is one of those covers. It's got that Christmas logo. It's just one of those things that you look at it and it's so iconic and so nostalgic and such great Americana that this is really something great that to look at as July 4th approaches in 2 days. This one's, the cover is almost completely detached. It's Archie's Christmas Love-In, 181. I'm not sure if the people at Archie Comics really truly understood what a love-in is when they put that title there. Yeesh, this has got a stain at the top. Oh, that could actually have been a date stamp that went wrong. It's Archie Giant Series Magazine 188, The World of Archie. Another one at an amusement park or fair. That's another theme. Oh, and then this is a great. I forgot about Little Jinx. Isn't that a beautiful Christmas cover? Beautiful colors.
American Airlines alone spent $15 billion in 6 years just on stock buybacks.
Man, it's getting to be July. It's about time to put up the Christmas tree. I think next episode I'm going to put the Christmas tree up here in the lobby. Tell me what you think. Would you like a Christmas themed episode for episode 1? What is this, 188? Or is it 189? Well, whatever the next episode is, would you like a Christmas themed episode? Let me know down below in the comments. By the way, you need to order copies of The Tomb of Terror, my acclaimed television program that I've created in the spirit of the Hypnotic Eye, a show I worked on back in the 1990s. This is The World of Archie, Archie Giant Series Magazine number 200. Archie is so gullible. I told him we were through and he believed me. It's like, oh man. Okay, it's 2:18. It's another Archie's Christmas Love-In. And another copy of the same issue. 233, it's The World of Jughead. 233, and then I go to 455. Oh, I missed about 200 something issues, but this is a Sabrina Christmas Magic issue. Man, I've got some significant holes in my Archie comic collection, don't I? Oh, here's another. That was 455. Here's 467. These witches have taken over Christmas. Here's 474. Betty and Veronica Spectacular. 486. Star Trek, the motion picture, that dates it from 1979. 494. 503, it's another Sabrina's Christmas Magic. I always like the character of Sabrina. We'll get to some Sabrina comics, I don't know at what point. I guess when we get to the S's. We're still on the A's. There were so many Archie titles that started with A, obviously, Archie, that we, how many more giant series do I have? 516. 519. Summer Fun, 520. What are they saying there? Join us for the best summer fun under the sun. This is 522. It says, interested in having fun, pick us up, you won't be sorry. I don't think, that kind of doesn't sound right. 529, another summer fun issue. Man, this is rough on the arm, man. Maybe if I do this angle, will that help? No. Try doing a YouTube show holding up comics for a while. It gets a little rough on the arm, man. That's 530. 535. Another Christmas issue.
I mean, it feeds into every other aspect of living standards. Even before the onset of this highest
Looks like
inflation in
I got a lot of
40 years,
Christmas issues.
has no way to control.
Now,
Everything they're trying to do is bring it under control.
wait,
Increasing more
530.
chaos and pushing the U.S. economy.
5 was a Christmas issue and 536 is a Christmas issue. I think they did 2 Christmas issues back to back for the same Christmas.
And now, I mean,
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
impossible. Half of the American workforce
Um,
does not earn enough to rent a
552. This is a key issue. It's the first appearance of the Three Bears.
full-time minimum worker in this country can't afford
I hear that that movie Cocaine Bear is on Netflix or whatever is pretty funny.
20%
Um,
just since the start of 2020. In New York, they've risen 35%. Some cities, it's even worse. And it's not just the inflation.
513. It's Betty and Veronica's Spectacular.
Speculation. At a time when there's less available housing for sale or for rent than any time in the last 30 years,
Oh,
5 houses sold in
this is.
are being bought by investors who don't
The heck does that say? I think it says 601. Yeah, 601. They're at the 20th annual San Diego Comic Convention. And
housing prices climb
girls dressed up as Valkyrie from Marvel Comics.
market offers. And we've seen
And what are they saying? Archie, I've got my hands on a real collector's item. He's looking at an old issue of Pep. And he's saying, so have I, Chuck.
massive corporate landlords controlling
Oh, they even drew
of the housing market
the editors of the Comic Buyer's Guide were even put on the cover.
of a planned economy because you simply nationalize those huge
Comic Buyer's Guide was a tabloid
you get into the
newspaper that used to appear all about the comic industry and had a lot of ads in it. Before the internet came along, it was Don and Maggie Thompson, right? That's who that was supposed to be on the cover there. So I'm sure they gave that comic a write-up in the Comic Buyer's Guide because of that. Here's issue 617, another Christmas issue. But by then, it wasn't a giant comic anymore. It was a thin comic. It really didn't have any. It was still just called Giant Series, but for no particular reason, because it wasn't giant. I think I just said that. Anyway, I still kept buying all the Christmas issues, it looks like, or I didn't. I probably bought these later, picked them out of quarter bins. Okay, so now we're to Archie and Me, which is a different comic. Archie and Me. Why is that there? Wait, what?
these are all the factors that are increasing, they're exerting more and more pressure.
This is all out of order, man.
And it's not just this general gradual
This is
the experience of living
another variant cover for that Archie meets Batman 66. And didn't we already look at these Archie 3000 books? Weren't they in the other box? I need to put these things. It's 11, that's 7, that's 12. I don't like this time period at all. Archie's RC Racers. I guess this is when remote control cars were in. Okay, I need to put these in the previous box.
along with Gen Z, millennials are the most racially diverse generation in U.S. history, the most conscious of questions of inequality and oppression. They're the most educated.
Sorry, you guys doing great. What a great day. It's just a fantabulous day.
If I crowdfunded to go to Marxist school, would you guys support me going to Marxist school the next time they have a Marxist school? I think that
Okay.
would be a really fun activity and definitely
Where were the-
not at all dangerous for me.
Okay, that's where the Archie Batman went.
So it's also the most class
I think I got frustrated and started to just throw this stuff anywhere. Archie and Me. Archie's. Where did this stupid Archie 3000 go? Archie Free Comic Book Day.
which is now the majority of the working class.
Archie.
The U.S. is headed for revolution because all these
Archie.
factors are a response to the impact of capitalism. They're not going away. They're going to intensify. It's not going to calm down.
I don't know, man. I don't give a flip. Back in the 90s, the kids used to say, I don't give a care. I thought that was a 90s expression. Then we were watching a movie from the 1930s, and someone said, "I don't give a care." And I thought, what? I thought that was a stupid expression in the 90s so that kids wouldn't say, "I don't give an S." You know, they didn't want to get in trouble, so they said, "I don't give a care." But apparently that's an older expression. Oh, she just said, "So yeah." Did you hear that? Sign of a socialist. My goodness, these horrible things. Archie's pals. Oh, here's the stupid Archie 3000. So yeah. Archie and me. Archie's pals and gals. I'll just put it there. Flip. Okay. Jokes. Wait. This Archie's TV laugh out. There were some other Archie's TV laugh outs earlier. This has to be with those. Oh, here it is. That's issue 21. Okay. So I had 15, 21, then 22. Okay. It's good that I'm going through these. I'm getting them better organized. Okay, now we get to a really cool Archie comic, which is a horror-themed one. Tales calculated to drive you bats. And it's it's a 10-cent comic. You know, when Mad first started at EC Comics, it was kind of meant to be a humorous horror comic in the first issue. And then it got to be more parodies of other things in the media and culture and other comics. This is a humorous horror comic from Archie. Beautiful cover. Bats number something. And this is definitely, you know, along the lines of, I mean, they definitely, you know, they're thinking Mad because Mad's originally said tales calculated to drive you mad. And I believe that came from the old radio series Suspense, right? Wasn't that tales calculated to put you in suspense, I believe. You gotta have to explain. You know, someone was playing a clip of Prince from, I'm not sure when this clip was from, but he's saying, says, "I'm a musician, I don't sample." And he said something about, says, I put on the mic, I turned my microphone on. I'm not Memorex. And underneath this video, they had to explain what he meant to whatever the young generation is now that don't remember those commercials that say, you know, because he said, "I'm live, I'm not Memorex," and kids never heard of that commercial. That, you know, is it live or is it Memorex? And they had to explain that Memorex made tapes, recordings, and they had to explain the commercial used this slogan and all that stuff. So you have to be aware. Not everyone. Now this is interesting because Marvel started something which is trying to make it trying to be really cool and let you know who the artists were and who the writers were and make you think they're really cool. Like you know all the baseball players on your favorite team, you know all the people in the bullpen at Marvel, you know all the names of the artists and everybody, and they gave them names like Rascally Roy and all that. So they started doing that at Archie on this comic. This is another issue of Tales Calculated to Drive You Bats by that Batty crew, Dick, Vic, Bob, and Gladdy. So they're letting you know who's doing the comic to try to make it cool and hip. Yes, indeed. bats. And I don't know how many issues of bats there were. I need to get some more at some point. Here's Betty had her own comic there briefly in the 90s, Betty number 15. And here's Betty number 42. She's surrounded by these drawings that you can tell have been sent in by little girls drawing Betty. You can tell it was drawn on notebook paper, probably during class. So that's Betty 42, Betty 63. Veronica got her own comic too. There's another copy of Betty 63. Then there was a comic called Betty and Me. This is number 29 from the 15-cent era, so it's somewhere between 1968 and like 71. Betty and Me number 30. Oh, here's a giant size Betty and Me. It's confusing because it says Archie Giant Size Series, but it's not part of Archie Giant Size Series unless it says Archie Giant Size Series up here. This is actually Betty and Me number 36. They're just letting you know it's a giant size issue. It's confusing, but it's alright. Not as confusing as the comics of today with all their nonsense. Hopefully I'll finish this box before this recording stops. If this episode stops prematurely in the next few minutes, I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday and have a wonderful dinner. And please subscribe to this channel, and please let me know, or please let other people know to subscribe. I'm really, it'd be a great present if I could get up to 1,000 subscribers, but I don't know what else I can do. In 16, it's a drive-in movie. There's a few covers with drive-in movies too. Those are good as well. I'm not. I don't know what I can do to make have contest. I guess I said I was going to have a contest and give away some. I might just choose someone at random from the chat down below and ask for your address, and I'll send you a free copy of the Tomb of Terror 122. Or let me know you're interested in one or a particular episode or something. I don't know. Because people probably need to see an episode before they know that they're interested in buying more of them. 130, 133. Yeah. 139. It's a very weird dynamic. These two girls are best friends, and they're both in love with the same guy. That never has that ever happened in the real world? I just don't. I don't think so. Usually, it results in a horrible fight where people have scratch marks and people are, that's what but they just remain friends and they all hang out together, and it's just it's like, I don't know. That's kind of what the Spider-Man comic was shaping up to be when you had Spider-Man and Gwen Stacy, and you had Mary Jane Watson, and it's like, it was kind of like that. Then they killed off Gwen Stacy. Now, apparently in the comics, there's a new Gwen Stacy. Somehow she's back. I think it's from another dimension, Spider-Gwen or something. I don't know what they're doing in these comics today. 37.
Do not speak to my mods like this, please. I appreciate the compliment you're giving me, bro. I really do. But do not speak to my
Okay,
mods like
wait.
this.
That
I
was
need
Betty
you to
and
speak
Me.
to
Is
my
that Betty
mods
and
like
Me?
this
No.
and tell
Okay,
them to
wait.
get over it.
That was
Like, that's what
Betty and
surprises
Me,
me.
and then
The
Betty's
kind of
Diary.
messages don't
And then
even
this is
hit.
another issue of
And then,
Betty's Diary.
and I
I
don't
only
mean
have
to
2
be
issues of Betty's
condescending, but
Diary.
like, just like Ray,
That
hey,
was a
bro,
later
we're all
period
friends here. Just
deal.
relax.
But then there was a comic called Betty and Veronica. Probably it should be filed under B, but I always filed it under A for Archie's Girls, Betty and Veronica. This is my oldest copy of that, number 22. Archie's Girls, Betty and Veronica, number 22. Number 27. The era before cell phones. Oh, beautiful. Number 30. Look at that beautiful artwork.
Than anything like the Great Depression, even greater than the world wars. I mean, if you look at the rising tensions between the U.S. and China, and what this
57.
two greatest imperialist powers on the face of the planet represents, that's 40% of the economy represented by two countries.
Well, it's been great this evening. Hanging out with you guys. 69.
Greater and greater parts of the world. There's no question. U.S. imperialism dominates the world economy still, but it doesn't dominate.
Oh, here's one of those great covers. 73. It's the Miss Universe contest. Look at that. He's saying those ugly Earth girls don't stand a chance of winning.
China's share has increased from 1% to 15%. So you have, it's no longer a situation where you have one imperialist power and a certain civilian.
Ooh, this is good.
The one world policeman.
Number 80.
It's no longer so stable. It's a new alignment.
They've got a new robot cheerleader.
Forces in the world power. China is the world's #1 lender with more outstanding loans than the IMF, the World Bank, all OECD federal governments combined.
Number 105. Archie's Girls, Betty and Veronica. That's 105. This is 107. Just give me one evening and I'll teach you to hypnotize easily. Maybe Archie needed those lessons. Maybe Betty and Veronica needed those lessons. Oh, this is a great cover. This is probably one of the greatest of all time. When the superhero craze came in because of the Batman show, Betty became super teen. Look at that cover.
Because what's going on in France is crazy. France basically.
That's 118.
Oh, Belgium is the other country it's happening in. There's like
119.
and general upheaval and stuff like that. It's crazy. Definitely go look at some videos coming out of France, because it will blow your mind. Coming soon.
126.
United States, Summer of Love near you.
And even so, you have, if something were to erupt over Taiwan in the coming years,
Wait.
you may still have a situation where both countries
Well, I have 2 copies of 126. I thought that looked familiar.
warfare because of the nuclear threat, which neither ruling class has an interest in.
Oh, this is cool.
To dominate the world.
Archie, I don't think you quite understood what I meant by a camp party.
So you might
So this is
the fact that you have both countries willing to avoid this, but even full-scale
the
sanctions,
camp craze that led to the Batman TV series, the Andy Warhol stuff, all that stuff.
largest economies in the world,
Kind of an art movement.
of world GDP, that would be a devastating event
135. It's a babysitter status symbol. It means we only sit in homes with color TV. And that's another thing you'd have to kind of know about the time period that all NBC programs, when color television came in, they had this peacock that would spread its feathers and they'd say, the following program is brought to you in living color on NBC. And that was something you'd have to know about from being there.
collecting firewood so they don't freeze over
Archie won first prize for wearing the most unusual outfit. He dressed in a suit for this wild rock and roll party. I love how they draw the bands and the dancing and the outfits they're wearing. It's always great. We're up to January 1968 with number 145. Oh wow, 149. Betty, what's the meaning behind your happening costume? I designed it to help me tie up Archie for the evening. Look at that. Everybody's got some wild costume. Look at that guy singing back there. Brand X. Jughead is Brand X. That's a very great cover. Oh my gosh. Now they have a yoga cover with a Maharishi kind of guy. Gary the Guru, it says. Yoga quickens my pulse and makes my blood tingle. Same thing happens when I kiss Archie. She's got a sitar there. Wonderful. Oh, wow. January 1970, number 169. Look at that cover. Dig Veronica. She's all silver. She's going to be all purple. Here comes Betty with the same outfit.
They've gained power, and now they're trying to destabilize the system with this climate change bullshit.
171.
Well, they're basically creating hysteria.
Almost done with the box. We got 3 more books. Will we make it? We'll see. Now they're out protesting. See, everything that happened with teenagers, these are perfect snapshots of every decade. That's why I think Archie comics are a great tool for people, studying sociology. You could probably write some college thesis on this. Of course, you'd have to have a bunch of Archie comics to do that. I gave the chicks my wishbone, and they're both wishing for Archie. Man, does that reflect your high school experience? Did you have, those of you that are guys, did you have 2 girls that were after you, or more than 2 girls in the case of Archie? Those of you that were girls, did you and your best friend both hang out and talk about the one guy that you both liked? Is that a common experience? I don't know. So that finishes that box. I don't really want to go upstairs and get another box, but I've got 3 more boxes to show you here in the upcoming days. So, what do you think is going to happen? Are they going to stage some horrible event that's going to stir people up, and then they're going to start doing this stuff that they're doing in France here in this country? Will it be another one of those summer of love like a couple years ago? Or how exactly are they going to finagle to get Gavin Newsom in the White House? I think that's what everybody thinks is going to happen. I don't know. Our country will get back where it needs to be. I'm confident that it will. But I can only imagine if my father was alive to see the country in this state, this condition. Oh, my back hurts. So,
achieve the socialist revolution in our lifetime by building the forces of Marxism into a powerful
these
revolution,
Marxist
bring that
idiots.
revolution to victory.
Okay. Let's see what the weather looks like outside.
All right, guys. Well, that's the end of our first video, but I did promise that we might watch one more
Well,
because I find this channel interesting.
went
I
out
really
this morning and I
wanna check
forgot to
out
buy
that
trash
video.
bags.
And okay, it was that simple, but it wasn't the usual word salad.
Uh-oh, my back. Ouch.
It was relatively easy to understand. It was easy to
Well, looks like it's a sunny day here in Los Angeles.
Then why is China belching out more deadly chemicals than us? Exactly.
Oh, let's start turning the lights off.
All right, let me see. What other ones was I interested in? Because I was really kind of interested in some of the stuff that, do you guys mind if we go back? And when I
Do any of you guys live in Russell, Kansas? There used to be a theater there called The Dream, where The Revenge of the Creature played.
one of two things. Okay, I want to watch a stream from 2 years ago. Which stream should we watch? The first option is this one down here, Socialism versus the Lesser of Two Evils. And this was a stream that was done like a week and a half prior to the 2020 election. So basically this Socialism versus the Lesser of Two Evils stream was socialists discussing whether or not they should vote for Joe Biden. Okay? So we can watch a stream from right before the 2020 election or right after the 2020 election. And the other option I have is, hang on, I'm back on my ear, super chat in a second, I can appreciate it. So the other option is
Now let's turn off the lights.
election 2020 and the fight.
Walgreens is sending me an email. Where have you been? Well, I haven't been around in Walgreens because there are no Walgreens here.
So those are our choices.
In fact,
A couple weeks before the 2020 election or a couple weeks after the 2020
maybe there's
election.
one 45 minutes away from me, but I don't know. Okay. How are you doing, Drew the dog? Drew, would you like to go on a walk? Would you like to go outside on a walk? Want to go on a walk? Let's go on a walk. It's nice weather outside. We're going to take Drew on a walk. Yes, indeed, we sure are. Come on, Drew. It's time for a walk. All right, Drew, let's go, go, go. Where's my sunglasses? Where's my shades? All right. All right, all right, all right. Come here, Drew. Oh, it says low battery. That's a terrible thing. Come here, Drew. We're going out in the great outdoors. Ah. All right, Drew, you are a wonderful dog, man. Wonderful. Oh, my back. My aching back. Let's go, Drew. Oh, darn it. Yeah, I guess they still put out some Archie comics, but they aren't anything like what you just saw. Oh my goodness. You guys still there? You still running? Well, I guess I'll see you guys soon. Take care.